The budget mistake that quietly steals your future. Have you ever looked at your bank account at the end of the month and wondered where your money actually went? Not because you made one terrible decision. Not because you bought something outrageously expensive. Just because there wasn't much left. For millions of people across the United States and Europe, that's a normal month. They earn enough to cover their bills. They don't see themselves as reckless spenders. They rarely make huge purchases. Yet year after year, their financial life barely moves forward. The strange part is that the problem often isn't income. It's the way the budget was designed from the beginning. Imagine someone named Emma. She earns about $4,500 a month after taxes. She rents a small apartment, pays her utilities, buys groceries, goes out with friends once or twice a week, keeps a gym membership, pays for a few streaming services, and occasionally orders takeout after a long workday. Nothing sounds excessive. In fact, each decision seems perfectly reasonable on its own. At the beginning of every month, Emma opens her budgeting app. She carefully assigns money to rent, food, transportation, entertainment, shopping, and other expenses. Whatever remains at the end of the month goes into savings. At least, that's the plan. But by the last week, something unexpected always happens. A birthday dinner, a higher electricity bill, a weekend trip, a pair of running shoes because the old ones are wearing out. None of these expenses feel irresponsible. Each one has a logical explanation. By payday, the savings category quietly disappears. This is one of the most common budgeting mistakes people make. Many budgets are built around spending first and saving with whatever happens to be left over. The problem is that there usually isn't much left. Let's keep the math simple. Suppose Emma intends to save $500 every month. Instead, after all the small adjustments, she averages only $150. That difference is $350 every month. Over 1 year, that's $4,200. Over 10 years, without considering investment growth, that's $42,000. If that money had been invested and earned an average long-term annual return of around 7%, the gap becomes much larger. Now we're no longer talking about coffee or takeout. We're talking about years of financial freedom quietly disappearing, not through one dramatic mistake, but through hundreds of invisible decisions. What's interesting is that this isn't really a math problem. It's a psychology problem. Our brains naturally treat today's needs as more important than tomorrow's opportunities. Future versions of ourselves feel distant. Today's version feels very real. So when we have extra money sitting in our checking account, our brain doesn't see future retirement. It sees flexibility, comfort, options, something that can be spent if life becomes slightly inconvenient. The budget accidentally gives every category permission to grow. Food becomes slightly more expensive. Entertainment expands a little. Online shopping becomes more frequent. Small upgrades begin to feel normal. This is sometimes called lifestyle creep, but it often starts inside the budget itself. The budget isn't controlling spending. It's simply documenting it. Financially confident people often approach budgeting differently. Instead of asking, how much can I save after everything else? They quietly ask, what amount should belong to my future before I start spending on my present? That changes the entire system. Savings stop competing with restaurants, shopping, subscriptions, or weekend plans. They're treated more like rent. Not because saving is exciting, because the future version of you also has bills to pay. This way of thinking also reduces decision fatigue. Instead of negotiating with yourself every week, the important decision was already made at the beginning of the month. What's left becomes your real spending budget. Ironically, this often feels less restrictive. There is less guilt because every dollar already has a purpose. And when unexpected expenses appear as they always do, they don't completely erase progress. The bigger lesson isn't that every unnecessary purchase is dangerous. Life should still include experiences, hobbies, and moments that make it enjoyable. The real danger is believing that budgeting is simply tracking where money went. A good budget isn't a financial diary. It's a plan that quietly protects your future before the rest of life starts making decisions for you. Because the biggest financial setbacks rarely arrive in one dramatic moment. More often, they happen one ordinary month at a time. If you enjoyed this kind of calm, practical look at personal finance, consider subscribing for more videos like this.